feeling real rich, right? And we should. Because the last, most beautiful thing, right before we were shackled and stacked up on them ships, the last bath we took was in this river filled with gold. So that was the last, most beautiful thing we seen, right? And we washed up in it. Good. And it's like the armor we needed to be up in this motherfucker. Because you can't play the whole deck without them saying you cheat. And the ambulance do be leaving your ass if your drawers is dirty. Or you black. Nigga, I know my worthiness. I just lost my partners. She says, Seneca is mine, is my baby. And this is when she calls her sister, my cousin, hers. And she says, shh. They don't want anybody to know, but you're my favorite cousin, and I'm telling you she's mine and Clint's. My uncle, my aunt's second husband, not Chantel's father. She asked me to hand her a towel. She dried her hands. She leaned over the tub and reached into her jean pocket. She reached, took something small from her jean pocket, told me to get up for a minute. She poured white powder over the lid of the toilet seat. She tore the plastic on all sides and poured more white powder on the toilet seat. She leaned again, retrieved a short straw, and she inhaled. And I watched. She said, do you want some? And I said, no, what is it? She said, never mind. You probably don't need it, but it makes me be okay. I said, what do you mean? She said, it erases things. I said, Seneca is yours. And she looked at me. I said, Seneca is yours. And she looked through me like I was a hollowed house. And she said, no, that was a lie. I said, what are the scars from? She said that she fell or something, that I should forget what she said. And could I wash her back? Beat us up once a week, about 3 doors down. They invited me. Can you imagine that? Me and you, sweet chocolate drops sitting around a bunch of saltines. I went though because I wanted to see what it was, and what it is a whole bunch of them sitting around talking about, acting like we were way different. Carla Kay was there with her old manly ass. Raising eyebrows and trying to cut the smirk because the food, sweet. Nasty. Nasty as fuck, no salt. Me and her both trying to figure out a way to throw it in the trash without seeing it me.
My head looking like a raggedy jigsaw puzzle. Right out here with all these other pieces, man. Everything hurt. I just put my hands on her. And I didn't mean to do that. I mean, I meant to make it so she can't sing. To make it so her voice sound like it's running on gravel, because she can't go tell him that. Because then I gotta tell that. And don't nobody need to know what Big Mac can do. And don't nobody need to know that I know what Big Mac can do. That I know about that couch. And I know about their movies. I can't tell Ron that I was frozen. With both eyes open and both ears wide open like it was a car crashing into my skull or a stray bullet that wasn't straight. It was hitting home, man. It was really hitting home. I wanted her to scream so I could jump up and stab that nigga for all the times. She didn't scream. Neither did I, though, never. When she jumped up off that couch, I wish she was dead. Because I know what it's like to walk around after for days, for years. When I be locked up, I be free. In 1971 in front of my aunt's Sting's house. I remember the dried up blood. I remember Peanut's dried up blood in front of the house on the curb. I remember not being able to process that shit. I remember Sly was on the radio and he was singing, "If you want me to stay, I'll be around today." And I remember thinking, this motherfucker ain't gonna never be around again. And to this day, man, even now, when I hear that song, even now, you know what I mean? When I hear that song, it can take me all the way back to July 1971. Remember, we started sniffing more quickly. And I remember you used to be able to get 17 joints out of a Nick bag, right? And if you didn't get 17 shit, you could take that shit back and get your $5 back. See, back then it didn't seem like a lot, right? It didn't seem like a lot, so we just kept going and going and going, like all the way past the kidneys, to the marrow sometimes, to the edges where my father's dick and fingers meet my skin, to the arch of my silent screams, and each time I saw the horizon, I pulled over, took a little packet from my pocket, never riding on past the edges of earth. You see, I can shapeshift into the constellation of your naming when I'm high. I'm not supposed to tell you that all my mother could do was try not to bleed on to us, and she didn't succeed. That she tried to hemorrhage inside only for years, but she wasn't successful at that. That all she could do was feed us the lies that she needed for her own sustenance, for her own survival, and call that sacrifice. That all she could do was act like she didn't hear me yelling, was disconnect the dots from my truth to me because they let us out of the woods and she wasn't ready to go yet. That all she could do was compete with me and tell me I complete her. She tells me I raised her, and I feel like she means I rated her sometimes. All my mother could do was as she was told, and reserve one tiny piece of mitochondria as a life raft. I stole the life raft, went halfway,